Imagine being trapped on the open ocean. No land, no firewood, no warmth. The wind cuts through your bones. The waves slam like icy walls. Most men die here, frozen, forgotten. But pirates didn't. They survived brutal winter storms using 7 methods so insane that even the toughest sailors thought they were mad. Yet these weren't desperate acts. They were calculated survival tactics that turned the deadliest seas into their battlefield. Let's uncover how pirates cheated death when the ocean itself tried to kill them. It begins with death, the smell of it. When temperatures dropped and the sea turned cruel, pirates burned animal fat, known as tallow, to stay alive. They melted the flesh of cows, pigs, even rats, transforming fat into a greasy wax that burned slow and long. The result? A heat so foul it made grown men gag. But it kept them breathing through nights that could kill. Tallow lamps burned for hours, immune to wind and rain, when wooden fires drowned in the spray. Crews even rubbed melted fat on their ropes, clothes, and skin, sealing themselves against the cold. And when food ran out, they ate it. Imagine biting into the world's greasiest candle just to survive another sunrise. It worked, because fat burns hotter, lasts longer, and saves lives. Every ship had one fire, just one, hidden deep below deck, the galley hearth. It was the heart of the ship. The only legal flame allowed. Brick ovens glowed faintly in the dark, their stones radiating precious heat. Pirates crowded around it, shoulder to shoulder, the smell of burnt fish mixing with sweat and salt. In those moments, the galley became sacred ground. Cooking shifts turned into survival shifts. Crews timed their meals so the oven stayed warm all night, and when food was gone, they lingered anyway, fighting for a few more minutes of heat. In the galley, rank didn't matter. Survival did. When the galley grew cold, pirates turned to the unthinkable. They slept beside barrels of gunpowder. Those rooms were warm and dry, built that way to protect the powder from moisture. But one spark, one careless move, could erase the entire ship in a heartbeat. Still, men lay there anyway, wrapped in blankets, surrounded by bombs. They removed all metal, banned smoking, and even assigned guards to keep the sleepers from turning in their dreams. It was warmth, traded for terror. The silence in those rooms was heavy. Even breathing felt dangerous, but for some pirates, a quiet death was better than a frozen one. Here's where genius met madness. Pirates soaked their blankets in seawater and let them freeze. Sounds insane, but frozen fabric became solid shields against wind. Once hardened, these makeshift ice walls blocked the freezing gales that ripped through the deck. Crews built L-shaped shelters around their beds, trapping body heat inside. It was freezing work. One wrong move, and the fabric shattered like glass. But when temperatures dropped below zero, these frozen barriers became fortresses, keeping the cold out and the living in. They turned soaked cloth into armor, the kind that didn't stop bullets, but stopped death. When even ice couldn't help, pirates turned to life itself. They slept beside animals, goats, pigs, chickens, even dogs, anything that breathed warmth. These weren't pets. They were partners in survival. A single goat's body heat could mean the difference between frostbite and another day alive. Dogs curled close to their masters, keeping faces and hands from freezing. But this bond came at a cost. After months of sleeping beside them, some pirates couldn't bear to eat the very animals that had saved their lives. It wasn't just warmth. It was loyalty born in the cold. When pirates reached land, they searched beaches not for treasure, but for stones. Smooth river stones, volcanic rocks, even sand. They heated them over fires, wrapped them in cloth, and brought them aboard. These became portable heaters, tucked under bedding, near feet, or against chests. The technique required skill. Too hot, and it burned. Too cool, and it failed. It turned pirates into craftsmen of warmth, turning the earth itself into a weapon against the cold. To them, gold meant nothing if your hands were too numb to hold it. A single warm rock was worth more than a chest full of coins. And finally, the simplest fire of all, the one they held between their lips. Pipes weren't just habits, they were survival tools. A lit pipe warmed hands, faces, and lungs in the bitter wind. It kept spirits alive when everything else froze. Pirates shared tobacco like treasure, measured time by how long a bowl burned, and used those small flames to stay sane through endless nights. It wasn't luxury, it was survival. One breath at a time. From burning fat to frozen shields, from sleeping with animals to lying beside death itself, pirates mastered the art of staying alive where no man was meant to. They didn't survive because they were lucky. They survived because they were relentless, turning filth, fear, and fire into their greatest weapons. In a world ruled by the sea and the storm, the only warmth a pirate could truly trust was the one he created himself. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this and want to discover more about the world of pirates, their adventures, secrets, and stories from the high seas, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. There's plenty more treasure waiting to be uncovered.